what is up with you? Today I'll be walking my sister using my friend's account, which has kids.
What kids? I'm gonna plug in here.
It might be. Killa, I'm starting the 1v1. 1v1 started. Bring a tablet. 1v1 just start. The 1v1 started. Make a video about it.
He was about to have a heart attack. His lips started shaking and his eyes lit up. Is that me? What is this? It's, I know, Dad. I'm still looking for that word. Then Dad sat down and asked everyone to bow, and so they did. I just looked at them, and everyone was silently bowing. I waited for them for a minute or two to stand up, but they didn't until I said, "You can stand up, everyone." And they obeyed me. At that exact moment, I knew that I was given great power. I ruled the village. I wasn't sure, though, if Dad was being honest or not. I found out later he was only faking it so people would believe him, and that would give me more power. And to be honest, I did enjoy all the attention. People were making sure I was always comfortable and happy. They even divided the shifts among each other to take care of me. They built a huge palace for me and my family and would give us everything we needed. As I got older, people fell more and more in love with my paintings, and they were certain that I was a miracle child. So by the time I was 14, I took advantage of it. I tried to make changes. I ordered that all girls be enrolled in school, and I changed different...
Killa, I'll protect your bed if you don't attack me. Hey!
All was perfect. The people loved me and made me their queen, and Dad didn't even protest. That is until one day, my brother came to my room and sat next to me. "Hey, want me to draw you now? They are ugly."
Help me, help me, help me. Don't kill me, don't kill me, don't kill me.
There isn't anything special about them. When did you start speaking nonsense? Nonsense is what's been going on with everybody in this insane village. I never liked your work. I was just a kid and saw everyone being hypnotized. And I acted the same way because I thought it was the right reaction. If I were you, I would keep my opinion to myself. No, Carlos, don't be stupid. They love me and love my work. What do you think they would do to you if they...
Alright, good luck. He's gonna get your bed.
I'll make sure to end this. I promise. And with that, he left.
Yo, that's me, you know.
My brother was standing
My friend is the one shooting us. He's the one on top. He's using my account as well.
People, it's time to get your sanity back. What's happening here is bad. It's dangerous. Listen to me, my people. I'll save you. I'll enlighten you. I'll free you. The papers of the princess are nothing but art, and art doesn't control people. Art is beautiful, but don't give it more importance than it deserves. Free your minds. Are you out of your mind, kid? How could he talk about our princess like that? Let's teach him a lesson. And in seconds, hundreds of people were around Carlos, ready to kick his butt. But I yelled, "Stop!" Everyone froze and did what I asked. No one touch him. "Carlos, I command you to leave right now." Carlos looked terrified and left the place running. Then to my people I said, "My faithful people, I apologize, and I promise this won't happen again." Then people started cheering and clapping. That night, everyone gathered in front of the palace, and they partied until the morning. The more I painted, the crazier people got. They stopped going to work. Children didn't go to school. Women wouldn't stop getting pregnant. They wanted more children to name them after me, to honor me. It was chaos. And for the first time in my life, I realized I had messed up. I had ruined my own village. I ran to Carlos. "What should we do?" "We? Like you and your people?" "No, like me and the only sane person in this village." "Say it again. Who is the genius?" "I didn't say genius." "Fine. You're a genius. Help me." He looked straight into my eyes and whispered, "Run." And where should I go? I mustn't know, or they will make me tell them where you are. That night, I gathered my stuff, my paintings, and a lot of money, and I left. The next morning when I got to the capital, I entered a small store to get some food. When I got to the cashier to pay, I thought for a second, and instead of paying, I held one of my paintings to show him. He looked at me in silence. Are you okay, kiddo? Can't you see this? Yeah, yeah, what's the word? It's okay-ish. Maybe with a little practice, you'll get better. Aren't you gonna pay now? I realized at that moment that the big city was something else. I settled down and started taking painting classes. After a few years, I met some
Kayla, you can get my bed if you want.
5 children. 20 years passed since the day I left my village. One day, I got a phone call saying that my dad had passed away. When I got there, I was scared people might gather around me or go...
Dude, why are you coming for me?
I got curious and stopped to ask some people if they recognized me, but they shook their heads until I met an old lady who came running to me and said, "Oh, princess, you know me? Why aren't you bowing?" "Why? Oh, you mean because of the painting? They weren't anything special, honey. You are a princess, and we wanted to please you. We just wanted your blessings. So why did no one look for me after I left? Why would anyone? Listen, we loved you so much, and we respected your decision to go. We had overreacted to your art, and it got out of control. We never wanted you to leave, and people never stopped mentioning you. Even our young kids know you. Is that true?" "Yes. Watch this. Hey, everyone. This is Princess Maria, the just beloved queen you've all heard about." Then people started gathering around us. Kids were running to hug me, and women started kissing my hands. "Oh, Princess Maria, we love you. Our children love you." I hugged them back, and with teary eyes I said, "I love you too, all of you." My dentist claims it eradicated. So does my Oral-B iron.
Introducing Oral-B IO. IO technology combines microvibrating whistles with business-inspired round brushing.
My mom says, "Wow, I'm sorry to my IO."
Oral-B.
Dude, fuck you, bro.
When I was 5 years old, someone gifted me a 3,000-piece puzzle on my birthday. My parents thought it was too hard for me and put it away, but I snuck into their room when they were asleep and took it.
Stop!
All night piecing it together, and when they saw it the next morning, they were totally amazed. "Laura, you're a genius! We're going to send you to the best schools, the best classes. You're going to be the best child in the world." In an instant, my life changed. My parents shifted us to a new city, got me into a fancy new school, and signed me up for 6 hours of tutoring daily. But the problem was that I had ADHD and it was really tough for me to focus the way my mom wanted me to. Once, Mom even tried to change my behavior. "You should take these, Laura. They will help you focus on your studies." "Okay, Mom." When she left, I threw the pills in the trash. What if she wanted to poison me? My mom made me hate studying, so I had no choice but to start sneaking out when my parents weren't looking. My little escapades were awesome. I got to play soccer with the other kids and eat all the junk food I liked. It was all going so well, until one day in the 2nd grade, when I snuck out to go to a soccer match. 2 big girls approached me on the street. "Hey you, give me your bag." "No way." One of the girls grabbed me while the other tried to pull my bag off my shoulder. Suddenly our neighbor spotted us. "Hey, what are you doing?" The girls ran off in a hurry, and the neighbor took my hand. "I'm taking you home to your parents, Missy." "Oh no, not my parents." When Mom saw me, her face turned red with anger. "What are you doing out, Laura?" Once she learned about the incident, she totally lost it. She took away all my toys and grounded me until further notice. Until you can learn to be a grown-up, you're not going anywhere. I already don't go anywhere." Mom was about to slap me when Dad came between us and stopped her. Such a rude kid. The next morning, Mom woke me up at 4 a.m. "You're going to learn self-defense with your dad every morning and night." "But Mom, it's not even morning yet." "You start now." I had no choice. I began to teach me kickboxing every morning and jujitsu every night. One day, I was heading to an advanced math exam. My mom had been grilling me about this paper for a year. She wanted me to rank number 1. I was on my way to the exam room when I suddenly spotted an adorable boy with glasses cornered by some bigger kids who were pushing him around. I knew I had to go in for my paper, but I couldn't ignore this. I ran in between them. "Hey, stop it. Is this little girl here to save Devin? This little girl will kick your big butt. I kicked one of the boys on his knee, and he fell. When his friend ran to get me, I dodged him easily and pushed him away. The boy was totally stunned. You're awesome. Suddenly, my teacher came out of the exam room. Miss, this girl just attacked us. She's crazy. Before I knew it, I was being dragged to the principal's office. I already knew what would happen now. He called my parents. Mom came in like a raging bull. You missed?
Okay lang.
You beat someone up?
Look behind you.
Bullying someone. So what? Are you a
Ah!
Wonder Woman? Mind your own business. How dare you ditch your exams like this? Dad, I did the right thing. You know that. Say something. I knew Dad agreed with me, but he was just too weak to say anything in front of Mom, who was acting like freaking Godzilla. She signed me up for a replacement exam in 3 months and told me to get to work. The next day, the boy I helped, Devin, came up to me and thanked me for saving him from the bullies. He thought I was amazing and asked me out on a date. My first date ever! And he was just so cute. Of course I said yes. Devin and I began dating, and I did everything I could.
Alright guys, we're back.
With that, Noah walked away from me. That was so weird. So I decided to go anyway. Devin sitting there arm in arm with another girl. What? Devin kissed that girl right on the lips before she left. Oh my god! Devin! You cheater! The whole cafe turned to look at us, but I didn't care. Laura,
Kayla, why are you at my team?
dumping you! I walked forward, grabbed his plate, and dunked all his food over his head. Just then, another girl walked into the cafe. Devin? What's going on? I'm here for a date. Oh my god! I told the new girl the truth about him, and she grabbed some food from another table and chucked it right in Devin's face. Just then, the manager showed up and threw us all out of his cafe. I hope you rot in hell, Devin. And with that, I ran back to school. I was going to find Noah. He was practicing soccer with the school team. I pulled him aside and demanded that he tell me how he knew about Devin. I've seen him around with you, so I knew you were dating. But I saw him with other girls too. Why did you tell me? Because I kind of have a huge crush on you. You what? I'm not sure if you remember. We used to play soccer together before you stopped showing up for practice. I've always liked you, and I didn't like the idea of you dating that slime. Oh my god. Noah had a crush on me? I know it's kind of weird and sudden, but do you want to go out with me sometime? He was so stunning, and I wanted to say yes, but I couldn't get Devin out of my head. How could I ever trust a guy again? I had to turn Noah down. Maybe we can just play soccer, like old times. Yes, we can try that. I started playing, and it was the best fun I'd had in years. Everyone loved me and asked me to try out for the official soccer team. I cleared the tryouts easily, but I had to make sure my parents never found out about this. One day, after practice, Noah came to me with a whole bunch of roses and a couple of friends playing guitars. He asked me out on a date, again. Oh my god, you're dating Noah? I turned around to see Devin behind me, and he looked really mad. It's none of your business what I do with my life. Tell me the truth, Laura. Noah told you about my dates, didn't he? So what if he did? I always knew he liked you. He was always staring at you. Go away, Devin. Yeah, before we make you. The entire soccer team stared at him. He had no choice but to back off and walk away. I turned to Noah and said, sorry, Noah. I really like you, but I just can't trust someone so soon. That's okay, Laura.
Get my bit.
Come on, let's prep for the semifinals. The
I say get my
semifinals
bit.
tournament went by like a breeze. We had trained hard, and our skill and teamwork.
Run, 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 do not get my bit. Cause if you get my bit and I die you, I will be out of the
I
game.
wrapped my arms around Noah and gave him a kiss right on his lips. The entire stadium began to hoot at us, but I didn't care one bit. Everything was perfect until I heard it. Laura! I jumped away from Noah and literally screamed in shock. Mom, Dad, what are you doing here? Devin called and he told us everything. You've been sneaking
Let's
me
go.
every day to play this stupid game? My mom began to
Thank
fight
you.
with hundreds of people. I had never been more humiliated in my life. You're grounded forever. Mom, the finals are tomorrow. Come on, honey. We can't make her miss that. Why not? She should be punished. She is a bad daughter. To my surprise, Dad finally put his foot down. He told my mom that I was an amazing daughter and that he'd had it with her bullying. My mom went purple with rage. Laura is playing tomorrow, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Wind, where to go? Your fault.
Thanks for getting my bed. Cause look at me. I'm a monster now.
I love you, Dad. I
Hello,
hugged
Dad.
Dad. He'd finally accepted me. My mom refused to say one word to me from that day on. I won the soccer finals 6-0, and without our knowledge, a scout had come to watch the match. They picked me up, and I got a full sports scholarship for my undergrad degree. None of my other teammates got that offer, including Noah. He got into a good college, too. There was thousands of miles away from him. You have to take this opportunity, Laura. You're going to be great. I loved him so much that I really tried to make it work long distance, but it just became too painful for us to keep missing each other. We had to end things, even though we still loved each other and were on excellent terms. My soccer career was thriving, and I was playing at the state level.
You stop.
In the women's league. During a final match at Penn State, I fell and twisted my ankle so hard that I blacked out instantly. When I woke up, I was rushed to the hospital where the doctor told me in clear
Stop.
terms, you can walk and run if needed, but you can't play soccer ever again. My heart was broken, and it felt like my life was shattered. I went back home, and my dad consoled me and supported me. My mom made a few snide comments about how she was right, but Dad chased her away. I believe in you, Laura. We'll get through this together. I eventually started teaching self-defense and soccer classes for little kids in my city. It was good pay, and I really
You,
enjoyed
stop.
working with children. One day, I got a text from Noah, and I flipped. I didn't realize we were in the same town now. He asked to meet me for dinner.
Get it away.
I was shaking. My jaw fell when I saw Noah. He was drop-dead gorgeous, just as the day I met him. He wasn't here alone. Some of our friends from the soccer team were here with their old guitars. Noah had 100 roses, and he gave them to me before he asked me.
Alright, chill.
And this time, I said yes, and jumped into his arms. He lifted me up in the air as I kissed him passionately. Noah and I started our lives together, and eventually got married 3 years later. My dad attended,
Oh my
and
God,
my
I'm
mom
about to
didn't,
lose my
which
skill.
was totally fine by me. A year after our marriage, I became pregnant with our first baby. The pregnancy itself was a breeze, but the delivery was tricky. There was complications and I had to go into surgery, which really scared us all. Thankfully, both my daughter Claire and I made it. When I'd recovered, the doctor said, "I'm sorry, Laura. Getting pregnant again could be really dangerous for you. That complication would happen again." At first, I was heartbroken because I'd always wanted a big family. But once the grief passed, I said to Noah, "I'm grateful I have Claire, and I still want her to have siblings." We adopted 3 children after I had Claire. Claire absolutely fell in love with her siblings.
Oh!
And Noah and I got to give our 4 children a wonderful, loving home.
From the maker of World our best ever has arrived in Singapore. Denmark, all in one pot. Clean stains, germs, viruses. Do your pot do all these? Denmark, all in one pot.
This cold will knock me down next, right? Not if I knock it down first. New Vicks First Defense. It traps, inactivates, and removes cold viruses. Helps knock down a cold before it takes hold. New Vicks First Defense.
Cringe.
My Story Animated will give $1,000 to one lucky person who subscribes in the next 7 days. Tell your friends, your sister, brother, and mom to subscribe now. Hi, my name is Bree, and I was never very good at school, like ever. It was just always so hard. Even if I tried, I could hardly ever focus with all the noisy kids and the screaming teachers, and I hated the piles of homework. You see, it's not like my parents ever helped me with it. In fact, they just made it really difficult to study because they were the loudest people on earth. They'd do nothing but watch TV, play music, or have parties. It took me 2 tries to pass first grade. Mom told me back then that I was special and needed more time than other kids. She paid the 2nd grade teacher to let me pass even though I failed every test and never turned in any homework. She gave her $1,000 and promised free haircuts at her hair salon. My parents also lied to their friends about me.
Bree? Oh, she's so smart. Smartest one in her class, in fact. It's a good thing we enrolled her in that private school on the other side of town. They really focus on gifted kids there.
It's one of the best schools in the country. Almost guaranteed she gets into college. They lied and lied and lied. But one day, the truth came out. I accidentally heard my parents talking.
My can't she be smart like our friends' kids? She's nothing but an embarrassment.
No, honey, she's not. She's special. She just needs time.
Listen to me very carefully. She's not special. She is dumb.
And for the first time in my life, I knew Dad was right. When I got to the 5th grade, I found out it was much harder than every other year before. I would sometimes cry at night into my pillow because I found everything so difficult and just felt so dumb. And it didn't help at all that my cranky old teacher, Miss Anderson, was so mean. I was 12 when I started in Miss Anderson's class and failed the first try.
I can't believe I'm going to have you in my class again. Start working harder, Bree. Being pretty won't get you anywhere in life.
Well, at least that's one nice thing everyone agreed on. I was really pretty, and thanks to Mom's beauty salon, I always looked perfect at school. I could see other girls eyeing me enviously, but they didn't know that I envied them. I would trade my looks for brains any day. I was running a little late on the first day of my second time in 5th grade, and Miss Anderson wasn't in the classroom when I walked in. All the kids chanted together, "Good morning, Miss Anderson." One of dummy thought I was the teacher. Good morning, class. Today, we're going to have some fun with math. I grabbed a marker and started writing on the whiteboard. If a grumpy old woman started teaching math 25 years ago when she was 60 years old, how old is she today? 85. Oh, use your indoor voices, kids, but good job. Now, what do you think you're doing? There was Miss Anderson in the doorway, breathing like a dragon. She did not look happy when she saw the math problem on the board. And well, she sent me to the principal's office. Days later, I became friends with Melinda. Now, she was a little genius. She could spell all sorts of gigantic words, do math sums in her head, and rattle off the entire periodic table. I became a little obsessed with her. I wanted to find out more about what made her so smart. So, of course, I decided to follow her home. While she was having lunch downstairs, I snuck into her room to take a peek, and I gasped. I'd never seen so many books in my life. I saw a box of chocolates on her desk and quickly popped a few into my mouth. Maybe eating these made her smarter. Just then, I turned around in horror to see Melinda and her parents behind me. They thought I was some kind of kidnapper or thief, but they seemed even more weirded out when Melinda told them I was in her class. Yeah, she's super dumb. She probably got lost and thinks this is her house. Now go away, stupid. And I ran off before I got into any trouble. Of course, Melinda never spoke to me again. I finished the 5th grade by some miracle. On my first day of the 6th grade, a boy named Dante showed up to drop off lunch for his little sister. I knew him the moment I saw him. He was one of the smart people I was stalking on Facebook. He was in 10th grade and just so cute. He started walking towards me because I was sitting next to his sister. I wanted to impress a smart guy like him. So I jumped onto the bench, sat like a chimpanzee, and started eating a banana.
Are you okay?
Never better. Do you know that chimpanzees eat 150 pounds of bananas each day?
That's a lot of bananas, actually. Are you done with your amount of bananas for the day?
Did he just call me a chimpanzee?
Which one is yours?
Mine? I have only one banana.
What? Which one is your brother or sister?
Oh, that one. That one's mine. I pointed to some random boy on the playground. That's not your brother, Bree. You don't have one. I was mortified. Now he'd caught me lying to him, and he already thought I wasn't smart. Bree's in my class, Dante.
So you're a 6th grader? Can someone be this dumb? I know you're like super pretty. That doesn't mean you just stop using your brain, you know?
What a total jerk. His sister poked me in the ribs and grinned. He likes you. Well, I barely finished the 6th grade as well. And when I went to middle school, I finally understood what hell meant. Mean girls were making fun of me all the time for being older and dumb. It's not like they were any smarter. All they cared about was makeup and fashion. Since I was an expert in makeup and hair, eventually the girls started becoming friends with me. And I really liked being a popular girl. And I almost forgot about me not being smart enough. That is until one day I accidentally found out that my so-called girlfriends were having a study session with the smartest boys in the class before the exam. When I asked why they never told me about these sessions, one of them said, "Bree, you don't need these sessions. It's not like you'll pass the exams. They won't help you with anything. Neither do you. You just go there to make out with the boys." Yeah, it's amazing to kiss and be kissed while studying, but you will never experience that, dummy. I was so mad at her that I threw a book at her. Sadly, it missed. That day, I went home determined determined to study hard, harder than any other time. But my parents didn't respect my new study habits. They were as loud and obnoxious as ever. One day, before I was studying for a big test, they threw a huge party and invited all their friends. I tried to focus in my room, but the beat was pounding in my ears. Can you guys please keep it down? I'm trying to study.
What for? You're not going to graduate anyway.
Mom elbowed Dad to shut up, but he was a jerk and got even louder. Once when I was in the 9th grade, I was studying in the library and a boy at the table next to me got up and scraped his chair across the floor. It was so loud that I screeched and I instantly covered my
Another
ears.
one. Alright, this time I'm using Green Reaper Kit.
Hyperacusis is oversensitivity to sound. You hear things much louder than they really are. I'm sure it affects your concentration too, just like me. After some tests, it turned out that he was right. I was really happy because it meant that I wasn't actually stupid. I just had trouble focusing because of my condition. So from that day on, I made sure to always cover my ears with headphones when studying. I studied really hard for a math exam and was sure I'd get a high grade, but I only got a D.
Oh, so you actually thought that headphones would help you with anything? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, even from someone as dumb as you.
Stop it. I keep telling you, she's not dumb. She's special. And that day, I just snapped. Both of you just cut it up.
Do even more for your sensitive skin. New and improved Cetaphil products are specially formulated to defend against the 5 signs of skin sensitivity. With our dermatologist's backed blend of niacinamide, propanol, and glycerin to soothe, restore, and strengthen your skin.
Hello there.
Cetaphil, trusted sensitive skin formulations made better.
工作的原因，经常会熬夜，因为我的皮肤总是会出现不够稳定。不过现在呢，我有一个新好朋友，健身，让自己的皮肤变得更好。在这2天的实验中呢，我觉得神仙水真的带给了我很大很大的惊喜。
Cut it out. Dad, I thought my intelligence was my biggest problem, but having you as a father is the worst thing that has happened to me. And Mom, I'm not special. Do you need to believe I'm special to love me? I'm your daughter. You should accept me and love me just as I am. And with that, I stormed off. The next day, I left my parents for good.
Why are you
I was
here?
old enough to move out, and I got a waitressing job after school. And well, I really liked it. After my shift, I'd often sit at the cafe with my headphones on and do my homework. One day, while I was studying, I looked up to see a handsome guy sitting in front of me. It was Ethan. He came to the cafe regularly, and I had such a crush on him ever since he told me that he was some data analyst.
Hey, you didn't hear me with those headphones on. You look really busy with your chemistry homework. Which grade are you in?
Oh my god, he'd seen what I was working on. This was so embarrassing. I'm almost about to graduate high school. You must think I'm really dumb now, huh? He took my hand, and my heart fluttered.
Oh, I think it's amazing you're putting yourself through school. The only thing that matters is that you're educating yourself. And there's no time or age limit on it. Also,
Will you go out with me? Our first date was on Christmas, and I wished Ethan Happy Christmas, but he said he was Jewish, so I said, Happy Jewish then. Ethan burst out laughing, thinking I was joking, and I realized what I'd said only after I got home, and I cringed so hard. So from that moment on, I kept reading a lot of stuff before meeting him, and I kept a notebook with me to write down all his comments, so I could mention them again to show him I was smart. A year later, Ethan proposed to me, and I said yes. He invited all his smart, intelligent friends to the wedding. The date was so intimidating, especially the smart female colleagues. I just started crying while dancing with Ethan in front of everyone, but they all thought it was happy tears. For the next 2 years, we kept trying to get pregnant, but it didn't happen. Ethan told me not to worry about it, but I started feeling even more insecure. Everybody could be a mom. Was I going to fail at this too? To our delight, I got pregnant a few months later and gave birth to a beautiful baby girl, Anna. The minute I saw her face, I knew I would be a good mom. And I was. Once, Anna didn't stop crying and I noticed her lips were slightly blue. I immediately knew something was wrong and we had to take her to the hospital. When the doctor checked her, he was impressed. He looked into my eyes and said,
that's actually really smart that you were able to spot the problem right away.
That was the first time someone said that to me, and it was a freaking educated doctor. From that moment, I started to understand that it was okay not to be perfect or the smartest. I could still be someone who could raise a good kid and do good in the community. 3 years later, it's Anna's first day at school today, and I can't wait to learn all sorts of new things from her.
Hey, I'm trying to kill him. Actually, stop. Oh, Vanessa. Really, bro. Sure, that hurts me.
Hi, I'm Blessing from New Zealand, and I have a skin disease called vitiligo. But that didn't stop me from getting revenge on all the good-for-nothing jerks in my life. When I was 5 years old, I spent all day making a beautiful Mother's Day card for my stepmom. Look what I got you, Mommy! That is the ugliest thing I've ever seen. And how many times have I told you not to call me that? I'm not your mommy. Your mom is Dad. And with that, she tore it into two. But I made that especially for you. Who asked you to? Not me. Why would I want someone like you to love me? Stupid girl. I ran to my room and jumped onto my bed, crying myself to sleep. I couldn't understand why I was...
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Just wanted to be normal. Dad was only 17 when he had me, and he never even got a proper degree. The solution he found for his problems was marrying my evil stepmother, who was 15 years older than him, but very rich. It made things worse for me, though, because she was a massive pain in the butt. When I was 6, I found out that I was high-key a genius. One day, the teacher asked us all to memorize some nursery poems about winter and recite them in class. I snuck into my stepmom's library at night and took my favorite book off the shelf. I memorized Shakespeare's Winter by heart. When it was my turn to read out loud, the teacher looked stunned. I was asked to take a series of tests the next day, after which she called my parents and told them I was a genius, with an IQ of 180. Oh, wow. Well, I guess that explains why she's so ugly. Here's a brochure for this amazing school for gifted kids. God, that looks expensive. No, we can't send her there. It's bad enough that we'll have to spend a fortune on beauty products to cover up her skin. I hoped Dad would say something, but he was just quiet as usual. He mostly just did whatever she said because, well, he was living on her money. I thought I would always be miserable between my annoying parents, but one lucky day, I stumbled on an amazing secret, and it was the happiest day of my life. You see, I found out by accident that Dad had a girlfriend. That day, I understood that stepmom was probably horrible to me because of her own insecurities. She was just a loser who was getting cheated on, and I would never let her words or actions affect me again. A few days later at dinner, Dad left the table when his phone started ringing. I instantly guessed it might be Dad's girlfriend, and before stepmom could pick up the phone, I ran off with it. She started chasing me around the lounge and caught me by the shirt. I didn't know what to do, so I flung the phone at the wall, smashing it to bits. Just then, Dad walked in.
What's going on? And who broke my phone?
Daddy, I can explain. And with that, I jumped onto the sofa and whispered in his ear that his girlfriend was calling, and I'd stopped stepmom from answering. He immediately gave me a big hug. Stepmom screamed in rage and stormed out of the room. While things were looking up at home, they were just getting worse at school. My condition made kids look at me like I was an alien, and it just seemed to annoy everyone. I was smarter than them, especially that horrible Lena. She was 2 years older than everyone else because she was really dumb and had been held back twice. She never missed a chance to make fun of me. In the 5th grade, I entered an international physics competition and had the highest score among 500 participants from around the world. You've made us all so proud, Blessing. You don't speak for us, Miss, because we're all pretty ashamed to have her here. She should be in some school for freaks. Luna, that's a terrible thing to say. Apologize right now. Okay, sorry. boyfriend with 2 boys. What? I don't know what you're talking about, idiot. I saw you behind that tree, Luna. So you better leave me alone, or I'll tell everyone about this. And who do you think they'll believe? Me or a weirdo like you? I'm pretty sure they'll believe me. And with that, I played a video of her I made on my phone. And from that day on, she didn't mess with me anymore. I could finally focus on my studies in peace. Boy, was I wrong. Things were getting much worse at home. Dad had started coming home really late every night, and I could tell stepmom was getting suspicious. One night, I woke up with a start when I heard loud screaming. How could you cheat on me? You don't think I have feelings?
Ugh, give me a break. It's not like I'm ashamed of having a hot, young girlfriend. Just look at her. She's running for the Miss World contest next year. Really, you can't blame me for cheating on you. You looked in the mirror lately?
That's it. You two-timing golden jump. Get out of my house.
I quickly ran back and jumped into bed, feeling sure Dad would come any minute and tell me to pack my bags. But 5 minutes later, I heard the front door slam shut and saw him leaving. Still on the street, but to my surprise, she didn't. I kept thinking she would take out all her anger on me. She just started ignoring me, and I didn't mind that at all. For the next few years, everyone just let me be. Until one day in 9th grade, I was shocked when the cutest guy on earth, Ronald, came and sat next to me at lunch.
Hey, would you be interested in tutoring a dumb kid like me?
I was more than happy to. So I said yes. We started our sessions the next day, and Ronald turned out to be the sweetest guy. He never brought up my condition and treated me like a gentleman. One day, he suddenly took my hand and looked deep into my eyes. Bless him. I don't know why people say these terrible things about you. You have to know, you're the most beautiful girl I've ever met, inside and out. He held my chin, pulled my face close to his, and kissed my neck. Just as he kissed me on the lips, I heard that ugly Luna. Weren't you gay? Who? Ronald? You said you were gay when I asked you out. And look at you now, kissing this ugly creature. Don't call her that. It's okay, babe. I'm used to her nasty words. Let her burn in her jealousy. And with that, I took his hand and started walking, making sure to push Luna as I left.
Did you get my bed?
Regret this. That evening, I snuck Ronald.
You got my bed?
Just as we'd snuggled on the couch, the door flung open and stepmom barged in, looking insane with fury. Oh no, you can't see a man when I can't. You can't do that just because your husband left you. She grabbed Ronald by his t-shirt, practically spitting in his face. And why are you with a freak like her? Do you have some kind of condition too? Couldn't find any other girl, huh?
She's a great girl, and I like her so much.
Oh yeah? Prove it. Kiss her foot right now, and I'll leave you alone for good.
Back off, lady. Sorry, but I can't be a part of this drama. I'm out of here.
And with that, he left, looking angry and embarrassed. Stepmom gave me an evil smile as she walked out, and I screamed as I slammed the door hard behind her. That witch! Ronald didn't turn up for our tutoring session the next day, and when I saw him around campus, he completely avoided eye contact with me. I decided to give him some space. Luna looked extra happy these days, and I knew it was because she could see Ronald and I weren't together anymore. One day, I spotted them by the lockers, and the minute she saw me, she started touching and hugging him. And even worse, he didn't seem to mind at all. I couldn't believe he'd do this to me. I went home in tears, only to hear a familiar voice as soon as I entered. It was Dad. I knew the only reason she'd call him back was because she was jealous that I had a man and she didn't. She was just that petty. The next day when I went to school, I was determined to punch both Ronald and Luna the moment I saw them. But as I was walking down the hall, someone suddenly pulled me by the arm and into the janitor's closet. It was Ronald. You horrible...
Listen, I love you, okay? I thought maybe this relationship wouldn't work, but I haven't been able to stop thinking about you. Luna's been all over me. She is not who I want to be with. Please, manage it. Sounded clear, so I decided to forgive him. And then he started kissing me gently on my mouth. Oh, I missed her so much. We started dating secretly at first, but then I decided I didn't want to hide it anymore. Ronald, I'm strong and smart, and if you're ashamed of being with me, then
she walked over to us, but what she said left me in shock. Congratulations, you two. I'm so happy for you. And Blessing, I'm really sorry for the way I treated you before. She squeezed my arm gently and walked away. This girl was definitely up to no good. One day when Ronald and I were hanging out in my room, we suddenly heard loud screams from downstairs.
You're cheating on me again with a teenager?
Yeah, but she behaves like an adult. She's a lot more mature than you are. I expected stepmom to throw him out again, but she didn't. She simply walked to her room, packed her bags, and left. And that's the last time I ever saw her. The next day at lunch, Luna suddenly stopped by our table and said, "Hey, I just wanted to say that I've finally come to accept her and I'm not going to be anymore. You see? Yeah, I told you."
Big spider clips.
Told your dad, I really want to be a good stepmom to you. I sat there with my mouth open as she walked away. The 18-year-old dad was dating was Luna. I ran home to confront dad with Ronald right behind me. Have you completely lost it, Dad?
You like your stepmom. Luna's older than you, and I'm still pretty young. So why not?
Why are you the most selfish? A fight for people you love. I still have to go though. Good luck. Ronald and I moved away to the same college, and 4 years later, I was asked to give a speech at graduation. I spoke about my condition and how I'd never let it stop me from achieving my goals. The speech went viral, and since then, I've become a spokesperson for people suffering from vitiligo and other skin conditions. I've even been offered modeling contracts. Ronald and I have a beautiful baby girl now, and I will make sure she always knows she is perfect, just the way she is.
Do even more for your sensitive skin. Simple products are specially formulated to defend against the 5 signs of skin sensitivity. With our dermatologist's batch blend of niacinamide, carbinol, and glycerin to soothe, restore, and strengthen your skin. Simple, trusted sensitive.
You know those stories about the sons and daughters of famous people? Well, that's not my story. I mean, I am the daughter of an Oscar-winning actress, yes, but my story is far crazier. My name is Layla, and I live in a huge mansion in Beverly Hills with my mother. It had always been just the two of us. I never knew my dad, and Mom never spoke of him. I didn't have siblings because Mom said pregnancy ruined her perfect body once, and there was no way on earth she would let that happen again. But Mom was delighted to have me. You see, I had my perks. I was a beautiful baby, so much that by the time I was 3, Mom had me cast hundreds of ads and made sure my face was everywhere. Magazines, TV commercials, formula, even diapers. But I didn't care much for it. On my 4th birthday, she woke me up saying we were late for a photo session. Mommy, I don't want any more photos. I want to watch Cinderella. It's my birthday. She rolled her eyes and tossed her seriously. Cinderella is poor and sick. You have nothing to learn from her. Not much, Cinderella. But while Mom was super proud that I had started my career so early, I just thought feeling lucky was a pretty unique feeling. I was always tired and so bored. We were always traveling, and Mom always paid attention to me to explain how important beauty creams and lotions were. Once I asked her to read me a bedtime story, and she laughed and tossed the book aside and said, "Oh, sweetie, stories are for dumb, ugly kids. You should know how much more important it is to start using this lotion early." I wasn't even 5 yet. Mom decided that I should be homeschooled since my schedule was tight and there was no room for school. But by the time I was just 6 years old, I started to try to learn about creams and beauty processes because when I didn't, Mom stopped talking to me and ignored me. The first time I tried a DIY face mask, my mother was thrilled. She picked me up and swirled me, saying, "I knew you weren't dumb." I was so happy with her attention that by 7, I was practically a professional. I knew everything there was to know about beauty, and trust me, I knew a lot. Day creams, night creams, shower creams, scented lotions, and flowers. So many flowers. We lived in a pretty big house, and Mom and I had started cultivating all these flowers when I was 8. By the time I was 12, it was hard to distinguish which part was the greenhouse and which part was the rest of the house. We practically lived in a jungle. Mom loved
curious that I tried to add some flowers to my plate. And to be honest, it didn't taste bad. But Mom wasn't the only one obsessed with you. And once she finally allowed me to go to school, I began to realize everyone was obsessed with me. Not only was I famous, but I was also a living encyclopedia of DIY beauty hacks. So obviously every girl wanted to be my friend. One day they all started to beg me to take them home. We'd love to see where you live. I was thrilled. I'd never had
工作的原因吧，经常会熬夜，因为我的皮肤总是会出现。
It's over. But as soon as we got home, they ran to Mom and said, OMG, adopt me so I can be as pretty. Mother was delighted to make friends. She turned to me and said, at least you're smart enough to be friends with the right kind of girl. Then she spent hours talking about flowers and trees. Pretty soon I realized that I didn't have any real friends. Everyone just liked me so they could be beautiful. I talked about flowers at home. I talked about flowers at school. I was beginning to lose my mind. Luckily, around that time, Mom took me to the Dance Festival. That's when my entire life changed. I went to see an art exhibition of this famous artist and the paintings. That was a whole new world for me. And suddenly, I realized I wanted to do that. I wanted to paint flowers. I immediately signed up for art class at school. I became obsessed with it. A few years of practice, and I was getting really good at it. It was my hiding place. My friends just wanted to drag me to the mall all the time. You're so lucky to have a mom. He doesn't understand anything about beauty or fashion. She lives in flip-flops. Oh gosh, don't even get me started on mine. She doesn't even know what a primer is. But now I started to care even less about fashion, and that translated to my clothing quite quickly. One day, we were walking through Rodeo Drive, and my mom looked uncomfortable. I was enjoying a greasy bagel. Honey, people are staring at you. So? You're not even wearing makeup. So? She stopped walking and looked at me desperately. You look ugly. I realized we were in front of the beauty salon. I sighed and we got in. It was still nice to share a moment with my mom from time to time. This was the only place where she was really happy. Layla, it's been so long since the last time you were here. The shop owner put on her glasses and scanned my face closely. Oh, that poor little skin. No makeup at all and still perfect. Reminds me of your mom's younger days. Mom looked at her and didn't smile again throughout the entire day. I got the impression that something changed inside her after that. She became more obsessed with creams and lotions and makeup and fashion. And the day I said, I want to go to art school when I graduate, she snapped. That body of yours is not going to last forever, you know? You know how lucky you are to have inherited my genes? All your friends would kill to be in your place. Maybe I don't care about your stupid creams. You like my friends more than me, so why don't you throw me to the street and stop then? Oh, honey, they are not even half as pretty as you are. I went to my art studio and continued to paint. Stop. There's no future in the art world, honey. You should take advantage of your beauty while it lasts. Like you did? It doesn't look like it was. What are you talking about, you little brat? Look around you. How do you think I got all this? You really think I get all this with those stupid drawings? I don't care if I get all this. I never cared for any of this. All I ever wanted was to be with you. Mom rolled her eyes and said, Drama. I wasn't going to leave my dream side, so I applied to every university in the country that had good art programs. Mom looked at my computer monitor from behind and said, I'm not paying for this nonsense. I don't need your money. My art will speak for me. Letters from 6 different universities. High school was finally coming to an end, and I would probably use the only 4 miles between it and my home. I felt invincible and free. But when I got home that afternoon, not only was my mom not there, but all my paintings were gone. I started panicking. I needed my work for university. I had over 50 pieces. Where the hell were they? My phone started to ring with messages. Your mom is so awesome. I didn't know your mom is such a gifted painter. Your mom rocks. And emoticons everywhere. Mom? Painter? I saw a picture of my mother with all my paintings, and behind her, the place, National Museum of Fine Arts. I jumped into an Uber and rushed there. There were photographers everywhere. There she is, it's her daughter. And she blinded me with her flash. I saw my mother waving at me and smiling. Which, she came to me and said to the reporters, my beautiful daughter, isn't she beautiful? She's always there for me. For you? You stole my art. She stole my art. The flashes stopped for a moment, and then my mother started laughing. Everyone
too. Followed her back inside. I would never get away with this, but it was too late. I was alone. I went back home and directly to my now empty art studio. I got a message on my phone. It was a video of me shouting at reporters. It went viral in an instant. The very next day at school, everyone was looking at me like, please.
Lay away.
Whispers of anti-art. It had been my for years. Now I felt like an imposter. What's wrong, honey? I saw my art teacher. She must not have seen the video. Before I knew it, I had broken into tears. My mom stole all my art. I had to no, she didn't. I looked at her and she was smiling. She didn't steal these ones, and I have you on I always film my students. It's for academic purposes. She handed me the tape with a smile. I looked at it for a moment. I was so angry I thought of taking it directly to the news. But then I thought of my mother. It would ruin her. This is your art, your life. Don't let anyone take that away from you. Fight for it. That's what I did. I went to the news and gave them the tape and explained everything. And that too went viral. It did ruin my mother. I didn't want to see her again, but I had no choice. I went home and saw her sitting in the dark. But that woman wasn't my mother. The container was the same, but her spirit was gone. I felt awful. She looked at me and said, "You're leaving." She had tears in her eyes. Huh? I got scared. What? You're leaving for college. You have your whole life ahead of you. I'm so sorry. But I don't know how to live without you. I got scared. Oh, Mom. I hugged her. I already decided to go to USC. It's 10 minutes away. Okay, yes, that was a lie. The night after she stole my work, I wanted to go as far away from her as possible. I don't need to leave. USC was huge. People knew who my mother was, but nobody. And that was okay. Art exhibition, and it was a huge success. I sold all my paintings, and my mom was there for me. She stole a few flashes, but I was happy to know that now I could share time without any makeup or fashion at all.
Salon-tastic. But at home, super damaged. New Pantene Intensive Treatment Shot with Collagen helps repair visible damage in one use. Salon-tastic. New Pantene. For up to 2 times less hair fall. Dad's car again and again. I hate them. I hate them so much. Ugh. They just love making me miserable. They make fun of me, they're mean to me, they think I'm not special. But I'll find out what makes me special one day. Everyone will love me, and they'll say, "Hi, I'm Betty, and I hate my family. I'm the youngest child, and I have a mean older sister, Emily. My parents never wanted me, and they never failed to let me know that. Ah, man, I told you we shouldn't have kept the baby. Just look at her. She is so ugly. I'm not going to have her in my house." That's what my dad said when I was sick. And my mom replied, "Shut up. Stop being so dramatic. She can be useful in the house." On my 10th birthday, I asked my mom why they don't celebrate my birthday like they do Emily's. "Oh, don't you know? We didn't plan for you, and we don't want you. Also, we look like a royal family, and just look at you. You look like a maid." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. But she wasn't finished. "I think it's time you start earning your keep in this house. Starting tomorrow, you're doing all the house chores. You're old enough to work, and you wasn't beautiful like Emily." I think I wasn't really beautiful at all, but something down in my soul told me that I'm special in some way. Not bragging, but I just knew it. I just had to find it. The next day, I was in my sister barged in and slammed the door. I woke up immediately feeling really startled. She stood by the door with a sneaky smile on her face. "Oh, poor baby. Are you scared? I'm so sorry I woke you up." I was so angry. I knew she wasn't sorry. She got a thrill out of making me miserable. She was always trying to embarrass me at school, too. One morning, while I was getting ready for school, she entered my room with a yellow sundress and threw it at me. "Here, you can wear this. It's too outdated for me now, but it's still better than anything you have." walked into class, everyone was staring at me. I could tell they were impressed by my outfit and sense of fashion. I was so happy. After class, Emily saw me in the hallway. Shocked and horrified. How dare you do that to my dress? Ah. With that, she stormed off angrily, and I felt even happier. One day, I saw Emily going through Mom's cupboard and walking away with a box. Of course, they wouldn't mind her taking anything she wanted, but a couple of days later, Mom barged into my room with Dad and Emily right behind her, accusing me of stealing her jewelry. I told her I didn't do it. Then I pointed at Emily. Why don't you ask your precious daughter? I saw her taking it. Emily gave me an evil smile. Starting to feel suspicious. Emily would never do that. I'm going to search your room, and if I find it, girl, you'll wish you were never born. What an irony. She searched my room and found the jewelry. I was dumbfounded. Emily must have planted it in my room. I just stood there, speechless. Hey, Emily was giggling, and Dad started screaming. How many times I said I hadn't stolen it? For 2 weeks, with no phone, as if that wasn't enough. He said I had to clean the house from top to bottom. He looked at my dad with hatred. He pampered my mom and Emily, but treated me like dirt. I couldn't take it anymore, so I screamed. I hate you. I hate you guys. They were shocked because I've never stood up to them before. I think it makes me special, and people will love me for it. I stormed out of the room and ran outside to my dad's car, and it felt good. A week after that, I was looking for my math assignment everywhere. I asked Emily if she had taken it, but she said no. Of course, I didn't trust her, so I waited till she went out with her friend, and then I sneaked into her room. I wasn't surprised when I found it under her bed next to her iPod. I decided to take that too. That's when I discovered my love for music. Whenever I was upset and wanted to escape my family, I would go into my room and listen to songs on the iPod. I would sing along, and it would really calm me down. One day in the cafeteria, I was walking to a table when Emily suddenly threw something on the floor. Before I could stop myself, I had stepped on a banana peel and I slipped, with my lunch flying everywhere. I heard someone say, "What a clumsy fool." I was so embarrassed, I just ran out of there. After that day, I started eating in the school library all by myself. One day during lunch break, I was listening to music on my iPod as usual, and I started singing along when I heard a voice say, "Oh my, you have such an angelic voice." I turned around to see it was the school library. He was really impressed, but I didn't believe her. Thank you, but I don't think there's anything special about my voice. She told me to sing it again, and this time, she recorded it on her phone. I'd never thought about that. She played it back, and I heard the most beautiful tone. At that moment, I realized I'd discovered my gift. I was so ecstatic. I hugged her and said, "Thank you so much. I wanted to have something special my whole life, and you've made me realize what it is." I rushed home to tell my family about my singing ability. They just stared at me for a moment, and then burst out laughing. "What an attention seeker you are, Betty. Just stop making stuff up. You're never going to be anyone special." After the jewelry incident, I hadn't been able to forgive Dad for not believing me and treating me badly, and he was just doing it again. I wanted to hurt him as much as he had hurt me, so I decided to call his company and accuse him of theft. Dad worked as an account manager for a business firm, and I wasn't exactly sure if he had stolen from the company, but someone as horrible as him must be shady, and I wanted him investigated. At the end of my junior year, I was singing in my room when my sister screamed from her room, "Stop squawking like a bird!" I rolled my eyes and yelled, "You would know since you screech like one." Just then, there was a knock at our main door. I ran to open it and found 2 male cops standing there. One of them asked, "Is this the Blackwell residence?" Everyone was in the hall by now, and the cops walked straight over to Dad and said he was under arrest for embezzlement. The company was sentenced to jail. Mom decided to move us to a small town where we could start afresh. I was so excited because I didn't really have friends. And before I knew it, we'd gathered a crowd. Surprisingly, that became the beginning of my introduced himself. My name is Zach. You have a really nice voice. I've never drawn a bigger crowd as you did today. I was so flattered. That night, I went home with a skip in my step. Mom noticed my smiley face and asked if I'd gotten a job. I couldn't help spilling out the reason for my Emily nastily said, "The townspeople must be deaf. And I'm sure this Zach guy is better than you. They're just jealous because I have talent, and you can't sing a note to save your life." She looked like she wanted to strike me dead, and that made my day.
Well,
The next
that's
day,
what-
at the antique store, I started singing when I thought
I'm
I
gonna
was
say
all
bye.